Hey everybody, happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Here is a quick trade recap for the three trades that I took today. One small winner and ended up being two even smaller losers for a break even day. First trade was on ES. As usual, I'm typically watching the pre-market high, pre-market low, which are yellow lines, the 15-minute range, which is this box in the middle here. And then we had one of the levels near here that we were watching was the prior day low as well. So what I noticed off the open is we tried to push up, failed to go higher above this 15-minute range, and then aggressively sold off with higher volume and started setting, lower lows as we failed to go above the midline of this opening range. And so, what got me interested here is when this higher volume candle aggressively sold off and closed below the low of our 15-minute orb. And so then I started watching for potential shorts. Now, the only thing I didn't love about this is that we were pretty close to both the prior day low and the pre-market low. So there wasn't a lot of room down. However, what made me more comfortable in taking this trade as really just a scalp was if I could get my entry, it was still going to be, 4 or 5-ish points. Which for me, given the risk on this trade was good for a scalp. However, that was only if I could get my entry. So what I was watching for is for price to come back up and test the bottom of this 15-minute range, along with testing this 8 EMA as well, which is the green line. So, we did not get that on the following candle, and I was potentially going to miss my entry. But the thing that actually helped keep me patient was I thought if we flushed and broke below this pre-market low and prior day low, well, that was just another entry point for me anyway. So I was okay missing this because we might get another entry a little bit lower on. However, we did get this retest back up of the orb low and the EMA. And so I entered right around 296 and a half. With stops above this candle right here. So it ended up being around a 4 points of risk, which is good for me. So we tested this orb low, pushed back down, and came back up, retested it again, pushed back down, and then we got an aggressive push down on this candle through our pre-market low. My first price target was this pre-market low, so I took off about 2/3 of my position here. Took off another couple contracts towards the below of this candle, and then trailed my stop up. The mistake I made here, which actually probably led to the losing trades that I took, was that I trailed my stop too close. What I should have done is kept it above this prior day low, because if you see here, we never got above that. We retested this pre-market low a couple times and then continued to push lower. So had I kept my stop up above here, probably would have caught a lot more of this move. And then ended up not taking the two losing trades that I took, which were essentially the same trade, but on NQ. So ES was weaker all morning. So once we got this push down below pre-market low, I was watching NQ essentially to play catch up with that. NQ was a little bit stronger, a little bit more, I guess not stronger, but it was more choppy. And so what I started watching was we had this two aggressive sell candles here. This one pushed down, bounced back up. This one pushed down again and closed below this 15-minute low. And so once we retested back up here, we rejected off the EMA, we rejected off the pre-market low, which are two things that I like to see if I'm going to take a trend entry, and entered on the close of this candle here, which was right on this, actually entered before the close of this candle because we got this push down. We got 10 to 15 points into profit. I was targeting low of day, so I did not take a trim here. And then we closed right back on this orb low, which was still okay for me because, again, ES was very weak. We were still trending down. However, NQ was just a lot more choppier this morning. As you can see, we pushed back up, chopped around, did not love this price action. And so actually moved my stop up to around this EMA. Like I already had my winning trade. I wasn't super interested in taking a big loss here, considering how choppy NQ was. So I was fine with the tighter stop. This was really just going to be a scalp trade anyway for me. So got stopped out here. Then this candle retested back up again, closed below the EMA, the pre-market low, and so entered another small position here because again, this NQ again or ES again was very weak at this point. Looking for NQ to follow at least to low a day. Again, it was only about 15 to 20 points. But again, same thing happened. We just chopped around this pre-market low, this orb low here, and then I got stopped out again. Again, two very small losses, so I'm happy with how I managed them. Not really, upset about taking these trades because again, there was enough confluence there between ES being weak, between the rejects we had off my price targets in the EMA and the pre-market low. Again, just didn't work out. Obviously, we got this flush later, would not have held through all this. So idea was there, execution was there, market just didn't cooperate like it did over on ES. So ended up being, like I said, a break-even day for me. The one winner on ES and then the two losers on NQ. So not overall upset with the day, just one of those days. Price didn't want to do what we wanted it to, but on to the next. Hope you guys enjoyed.